So one of the most recent features that we built on the Creator East Africa platform is the feature that allows you to create a report. It's still 50% completed and it's currently in test mode, so you can actually test it out. So let's say, for example, I want to create a report for February 2026. I'm creating a campaign, a report. What was our budget for February 2026? Let's say 500,000. And the campaign is currently active and in progress. Let's just put it as active and in progress. Then the next thing I do is I add a segment to the campaign. Now, segments are basically, okay, for example, in the course of running the campaign, we have micro creators. We work with several micro creators. We work with several nano creators. We worked with several creators that were purely on Instagram, purely on YouTube, and I want to know what was the performance of the creators in each segment. So let's just say we have segment nano, we have we create different segments inside the same campaign. Segment micro, let's say segment YouTube, and we have segment TikTok. So we have all 4 segments. We actually advise to only create 4 segments. As you can see here, we create 4 segments, and the next thing is we save a segment. Now, the next thing you want to do is you actually want to pull the data. You can, if you go to your campaign overview, you can see that there is no data for your campaign, but okay, only 2 segments is recorded. 4 segments should be recorded. We'll check out what the problem is with that. So the next step is actually for me to identify, to put in campaign posts. So for example, I created 10 campaigns. So I'm going to go to Instagram. This is an example of a collaboration we did with a content creator. I'm going to try to copy the link to the content. Let's see if that would work. So we copy the link to the content and then we paste it in like this. So Instagram, you can easily copy it from here too as well. So copy it from here and we'll try to analyze the post. You can see once that happens, it's going to come up with a pop-up, and this pop-up, it might take up to 30 seconds for fetching data. It can take up to 30 seconds for it to load. So what this does is it goes to Instagram and tries to pull the data from the post. Oh, done. So we have 76 likes, 515 views, 7 comments, 107 plays. So it pulled the data from this particular video, 76 likes, 7 comments. It's pulled out all of those data. And if you close this pop-up like this, it doesn't save the data, which means you have to run the call again. So it gives you the name of the username of the account owner. Then the next thing I do is I add the creator tier of the owner, obviously less than 10k followers. If the creator's deal or the deal you did with the creator to hire the creator was done on Creator East Africa platform, you click here to add the deal. Let me just add the deal. So it automatically pulls the price. But if the deal is not on the Creator East Africa platform, that means you remove it. You don't make sure you don't select anyone. Then I go to the existing report that I created. If you have not created a new report before, you can add this particular information to a new report, but I will just add it to an existing report since I've already created a report. And it's going to show me my segments. So as you can see, these segments were actually created. Why did it not show segments in the other place? We'll have to figure that out with time. So let's just go to segments. I think this content creator is less than 10k, so that will be segment nano, and then we'll save this content creator report. So basically we have this one report. Now we can have multiple reports, but one thing you want to notice is when you run this report like this, or when you run an update, which means it recalls, it goes back to the page to pull the data, all this actually costs you credits. You can see here that your credits went down. It was 74 before we ran the call, now it's 72. So it costs you credit. So be careful, don't just run reports anyhow. So basically this section is for you to add ROAS, return on your ad spend. If you were tracking the performance of this creator or of this particular post and we were able to estimate how much we earned from that creator, you can input it here. But if not, you can just leave it blank. So in my case here, it was not tracked, so I would leave it blank. Now I'm going to add another post. That was an Instagram post. I would have liked to add a YouTube or a TikTok post. Let me just pick a secondary post and see if this might actually work. Let's see if this might actually work. This is another collaboration done with Creator East Africa on Instagram again. So let's just see if we can pull that post again before we continue. Then let's let that run for a while. So just as a demo, that second post has also run, which means that gave us 96 likes, 6 comments. That's the result from that particular post, and this is the engagement rate. So we're just going to try to add the same post to the same campaign. Let's add the creator tier. The creator is also less than 10k followers, but in this case, let's just make it less than 100k followers, which means it's more than 10k followers. We're just putting it as that, just for example. And instead of putting that as nano, we'll put that as micro. We put that particular content as micro. Let's say we paid, let's just say we paid 30,000 for that particular content, just as an example. You can see it did not allow it here. So obviously we are going to have to select a deal. Then obviously it has to be multiple deals you've done with several creators. By the end of the day, you also save that into your database, and you can see that that post has also saved. Now, what I wanted to show us was basically, so just for demo, we have the segment nano here. You can see segment TikTok doesn't have any deal inside. Segment YouTube doesn't have any deal. Segment micro has a deal inside. Now, just for demonstration, you can see I have 70 credits here. To analyze posts, you actually pay some credit. To update the post, you pay some credit as well. Then we have our campaign overview, and then we have our compare segments. And if your credit is finished, you can easily top up. You can easily go to top up. You add your credit, you can add any credit amount you want, and you can also use our subscription model. This is 15,000, and this gives you 300 credit. But if you want to use subscription gives you 500 credits for 15,000 naira at 30 naira per credit. So you can always buy the credit, use the credit as much as you like. So let's just get the comparison. So now let's say, for example, I have worked with several micro content creators. Obviously you can add multiple posts into a segment. Now I want to pick, let's look at it again. We have nano and micro. Okay, good. So I want to compare between the nano creators and the performance of the micro creators. So I can click on compare segments, and then it's going to give me a report. So we spent 15,000 on the nano creators. We did a total of 1 post. We got a total number of 15, and we had an engagement rate of 16.2. For this one, we spent more, but we got lesser views and we had a higher engagement rate. So basically, that's then we know how much we spent for every 1,000 views, and we know how much we spent per view, with each creator. So if you have 10 content creators, say for example, you have 10 content creators in the nano niche, they are nano content creators, and you pay them 50,000 each. That's 500,000 for 10 content creators. Then you hired one mega creator or one micro creator with over 100k or around 50k followers, and you pay that one 500k month. So you want to compare between all the sets that you spent 50k on versus the one that you spent, all the sets you spent 50k on making 500k, which means you can create your segment based on price versus the one you spent only one person 500k on. So you want to check the performance between both campaigns. You can always check here. And if you notice, there's an option for, say for example, you went here, there's an option for adding, if you added the number of redeemed quote, if the creator redeemed quotes, or you were able to track website clicks from that particular content creator, it gives you a way to also compare based on clicks. So for now, you can see we don't have clicks comparison. So you can actually get click comparison here. This is 500 for segment micro. I would have to update the second one to also show how many clicks we got for the second one as well. So basically, that is how this system works. It helps you to compare between both kind of content creators. Oh, also the comparison actually costs some money as well, costs you some credits, costs you only about 2 or 3 credits as well to do a comparison. If you want a download as well, always we are working on a download. This particular page or section will be downloaded, and if you've created all your campaign, you can also download your report of your campaign. But right now, that is also being built. That is currently being built, and it's expected to go live before March 7, 2026. So that's basically how the campaign reporting system works at the moment. So now you can check your campaign better, you can track your campaign, and you can always update your post to check if your campaign is really pushing well for the amount you're spending. You can check your ROS, your return on advertising, and so on and so forth. We are going to be adding more very soon. And if you need more tools or more resources to help you track your campaigns, we're actually working on different tools. We are collaborating with different platforms to get you more collaborations, to get you more links. For example, ManyChat is an app that you can use, and Brand24 is an app that you can use to track brand mentions. This one is a tool you can use for Instagram. So you can also get some creator marketing best practices, reports, and so on and so forth here, and so on and so forth. So basically, that's what we've been up to.